He punishes the sins of the fathers up to 4th generation. For the vengeance is for him. What do you learn? That's what you should listen to and take from that first king. I told you that soon I am going to get back into teaching. For that is what men of God and people of God learn. It wasn't until Facebook unlocked my followers that I found out comments that they hid it from me. In as much as they have found a way to block every avenue, thinking they can stop us. It is your job to spread the news through your own account. If you hear this message in the podcast or online, it is your duty you owe. That's high. If God did not give you the gift of teaching, 1 Corinthians chapter 12, then you must encourage those that have been given the gift so that they can teach more. Romans chapter 12. From verse 3. Spread the good news to the people to hear the truth and the word of God. It will be a shame to those that thought they will silence Christ, but yet the apostles, due to their steadfast sacrifices for their own life, you are hearing the gospel today. Elijah traveled 40 days and 40 nights until he reached Horeb. Is that not what the word said in 1 King? If you go to chapter 9, from verse 8. 1 King 19, from verse 8 to 9. 40 days and 40 nights when we declare fast for 40 days and 40 nights. Everybody will panic and start having headache. They already condemn themselves before they enter into the prayer. So what is the point? It's unanswerable prayers. You're fasting for nothing because your heart, you did not receive it from within yourself. There was no joy in your heart that you have the opportunity to seek God. So what are you praying for? They want to negotiate. Can we reduce the fast? Here, he started a journey without wondering about what he will eat. When you start a journey, the journey to seek and present and be, whether as a servant of the Lord, before all are called to serve the Lord in truth, worship him in truth and in the spirit, according to the gift you are given. For all the gifts are all working for the good of the church, for the lifting of the church, edifying of the church. You might not be given the gift of teaching. If your teaching is not as a rabbi, a man of God, maybe your teaching is in education or to your work. It's a gift you will use wherever you are, because it's deposited in you by God. What is your gift? What is your gift? A lot of children and young people and people are drifting around the world. They cannot answer the question, who am I? Why am I in this world? What is my purpose? So they are just to eat and sleep and play and die. What is your purpose on earth? Elijah knew his purpose, was carrying out his purpose, and was willing to travel 40 days and 40 nights. There's no indication here he slept, even if he slept, on a constant journey to go to Mount Horeb as the Lord had commanded him. He didn't grieve and talk about how difficult it is or will be. 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 8 to 9. But you see that he was running. He was running from a man, a mortal man that is made by God. Ahab told his wife, Queen Jezebel, because Ahab himself has surrendered the kingdom in the hands of a woman that was his wife, who's supposed to be under him. From there he sowed the soul and the seed of wickedness. And there he stopped being the leader. He allowed the demon and the spirit that was in his wife to control him. Because he has surrendered to a subservient God. And Jezebel, in her wickedness, pursuers after Elijah. This is a prophet of God that just commanded fire to come from heaven and consume the sacrifice before the Israelites in order to turn their heart. And there put to death all the prophets of Baal, the 400 and the 450, that worship idols. By the word of his mouth, he summoned the fire. This is Elijah that when they sent the 50 troops to come and arrest him, he commanded fire to come from heaven and consume them. They sent another 50. He commanded fire to come from heaven and consume them. The third one said, please, don't kill us. We're just coming in peace from the king. And the Lord said, go. He didn't go to King Ahab. He summoned King Ahab to come to him at the gates of the town. And the king had to go to answer to him. And then because of a threat of a wicked woman, he decides to run. That means he has surrendered. He did not think that God will protect him well. Why this is not in the Bible? Because we don't like to add